You're listening to Zen and the Art of Endurance, your podcast for getting great at going long.
Hey there, all you ZenEndurance studs and studettes. This is Coach Brett with another great episode of Zen and the Art of Endurance, the podcast where we go long and learn a lot about ourselves along the way. So this is going to be a really fun episode. We're going to drive to and pre-ride the race course for next weekend, the Lit Whizzy 62 mile gravel bike race out in nowhere, Texas, Harwood, Texas, if you want to look it up. And it's going to be really cold, so we're taking our time getting ready to go. It's going to be Kai and I. He's going to race pro division, if there is one, and I'm going to race dad division, which means starting towards the back and just enjoying the ride. I'm trying to go as fast as I can because I actually have an ultra trail run the next weekend. So I don't want to blow myself out too early for that. So I'm going to take the mic along with us on the ride. And we're also going to do two other things that are pretty fun. One, I'm going to talk about Zen and the art of doing nothing, doing versus not doing, and the Zen approach to that, and how that's actually the whole point of enlightenment, or maybe we should say the source of it. Also, I'm going to use the record mode on the mic where it only records if something's actually happening. So I'm going to mic myself up for getting stuff together, and I will do some commentary on, like making the fuel and all that kinds of stuff, what gear we're taking with us as it happens. And the mic will actually stop recording anytime I'm not saying anything. So it'll compress 2 hours of casually getting ready and making observations down to probably, hopefully, I don't know how many minutes. But let's hope not too many, and make it nice and concise. And a thing that's kind of interesting and maybe cool technology-wise is if I haven't spoken for a little bit, it shuts off the mic. And then when I start speaking, it's got like a millisecond to turn the mic back on and record, right? And so sometimes if you pay attention, the first millisecond of a syllable of a sentence will be clipped just the tiniest bit. So a word that starts with the letter T, like time to put the bikes on the back of the truck. It might come out as I'm to put bikes on the back of the truck. But that's a sacrifice we're willing to make for editing purposes to get this show out, right? So next, I need to decide what I'm going to work on first. Am I going to make fuel? Am I going to get my clothes together? And one thing is I really enjoy the ritual of getting my stuff together to go work out, because as I'm getting stuff ready, I actually organize things that were disorganized as part of the process. Things that were kind of blown apart from the last workout and kind of scattered about all start coming together by the process of doing. And on that note, the doing versus not doing stuff I'm going to talk about today comes from a lecture from a Korean Zen master that gave a talk, and it was recorded and posted to YouTube. And he's actually, I think he's American, and he's in Korea though. And there's a translator that is saying in Korean what he says, right? So he'll say a sentence or two and then pause, and then it'll be in Korean, which I have no clue how to comprehend. But what I've noticed long ago is when somebody's given a talk and it's being translated, you actually absorb the talk a whole lot better if you only understand one of the languages, because the pause lets you absorb things, and we don't pause and do nothing enough to actually absorb and give things space to breathe. And then the other thing is that the speaker will pick their words very carefully because he knows they're going to be translated, and he wants to speak clearly so the translator can do a good job. And in the name of maybe you've got half as much time to speak and you want to speak clearly so it's easily translated, the talk ends up being very concise, and then the gaps in the talk while it's being translated and you can't understand it, you process what the person just said. So it's like haiku poetry, being very to the point and simple, which allows it to be actually more powerful. So I encourage that. Next time you listen to a translated talk, see if you notice that same thing. All right, I'm going to take a minute here. It'll be a second for you guys, and decide what I'm going to work on next. And then also, we might put the getting stuff together after recording the ride, if the recording of the ride is more entertaining, because the way podcasts and stuff like this goes is you want to put the more entertaining stuff up front so people stay tuned all the way to the end. And I don't know, we'll find out. I'm not attached to one being ahead of the other, just the better ahead of the other. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, I don't know if y'all are able to hear that, but the freezer has ice in it. It's got a small leak, and I had to just hammer out a whole bunch of ice. I'm going to do a bowl of cereal. I made 3 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Next thing is put the bike rack on the back of my truck. I think I got pretty much everything I'm taking with me all laid out right here. So now it's just the final touches. I'm going to put in my contacts while this heavy granola soaks up some of the milk so it's not as harsh. Said he forgot the gloves. I don't know if he's messing with me or not. So. We mess with each other all the time, huh? Thinking yesterday or the day before about teasing him, making him think something was a thing, and then going, just kidding. I actually don't think I have any good heavier bike gloves left nowadays. And got these like bright orange work gloves. So I'll just wear those. Bright orange is not the worst thing to wear on the bike. I'm done. I got too much else to do. Unless they fall off the ceiling into my hands right now, it's over. After being at military school and in the Corps at A&M for a total of 3 years, Marine Corps, Navy Marine, really high intensity environment. The upside is you learn to have everything dialed in and just exactly right and not let other people down. Try everything as precise and clear and wired down. The downside is we got into the civilian world, dealing with other people who don't do that. It's like just constant misery. My first experience was coming back and eating at Luby's, which is like a cafeteria. And our assembly line of going through the mess hall, getting our food is, you get this, you get this, you get this, get your food, move along. And I was back in the civilian world, I'm behind this lady. They're kind of like Elaine in the Soup Nazi scene. She's like, well, I'm not really sure. And it's like, the environment I came from is, you should have been sure by the time you got to this point in the line. What the hell? You know, now you're holding up other people, which is a big problem. And I was like, wow, the difference. Locked in and knowing what you're doing versus not is the amount of time and inconvenience it causes other people. And it's a lifelong lesson that you can't push other people with that. The world is full of both. There's not much you can do about it. And you also learn that a lot of times people are messing with you. Okay, I'm going to eat cereal and try to put on a bike rack. If I can find the keys to it. And then I think we're about ready to go. Modern pickup trucks that typically have 4 doors only have a 5.5 foot bed. And on this bowl of cereal. Older pickup trucks had 6.5 feet bed. I've had both. And the 6.5-foot bed, you can put in 2 bikes. You can definitely put in 1 bike really easily, and you can figure out a way to put in the second bike. 6.5-foot bed, not so much. So you end up putting the bikes on the back with the bike rack. But they're a lot easier to work on and deal with when they're on the back like that. Straighten the truck out so that... Oh, my car smells like bananas. Where's the key? It's in the house. While I'm in there, I'll grab my money. Forget that. Everything works out. Now I've lost my blue sunglasses. Let's see if they appear. I get made fun of for my truck being dirty. But I don't clean it all the time because it's just going to get dirty again super fast. I see. And what I like to say is this is a fully operational battle station. Ooh, while I'm in here, I'll put my workout headphones on the charger. And put my non-workout ones, my non-waterproof, back on my his head. And it is hot, cold. Oh, we need to find keys. Then I can put this bike rack on. And then if Kai comes over and he's just sitting around, I'll be like, hey, why don't you put the bike on so that you know how to. Mister, I'm waiting on you. There you go. And let me text him and see if he's coming over. Or if I'm... No, I think he genuinely left him. He forgot him. Okay, so it's all right. I make mistakes. I always say I'll get on somebody's ass about screwing up when I stop screwing up. Hey, no, that's my shoe. That shoe stays there. Stop. No. Thank you. No. No. So I'm texting him. I'm picking you up, which is fine. I just want to be clear. While I wait on that, I'm going to put dashboard, since they're more fragile. I imagine since we're bringing so much stuff, he's want me to pick them up so he don't have to drag it all over here, which he'll forget something. Back in the garage. Close the garage door. Oh crap, I pick up the more I drop. Emily needs to... It's weird seeing like a Casio wristwatch on my handlebars and your automatic reflexes. Oh, have I charged that? No, it lasts like 3. Okay. So kind of as a half joke, one of the things that Kai and Kylie did was, or I don't know who got it. They got me an IKEA shopping bag, which is massive. It's hilarious. But the upside of it is I can just like pack all this crap into it and I'll figure it out. Honestly, you don't know what you're going to use. Shit, I can't even get over there until I put the bike rack on because I need to put my bike on it to get over there. That'll be fun. I was thinking I didn't need to put my jacket on for a little bit. Okay, move, back up. Thank you. So now we're getting to be a little late, and it's critical to remember that there is no real time agenda except beating daylight, which we're nowhere near that being a problem, maybe. Let's slow down. Do things right. God dang, it's cold. Got a Kuat triple rack. It's really nice. Part of our overspending era. Somebody's got a truck with maybe a tent bed freaking whatever you call the crapping thing on the back. Dogs see it. They're all barking their brains. One thing from Marine Corps training is get moving. Fix things while you're on the move. It's always faster. It's like a lot you can do while you're driving or while you're riding. Oh, tire gauge. And I'm going to grab that right now so I don't forget. I might turn on the car and start heating it up. Now I need something to put my fuel bottles in so they don't spill. It's not that they won't spill, so they just don't leak. And I accidentally locked up the back of the truck, where I actually do have something to put them in. But now the bike rack's on. Getting to that is a huge problem. Oh. Tire gauge. It'll hold 3. So I just need to make sure one doesn't spill, which I can handle that. I saw this thing where Silka wax, whatever, it's one of their products. If it gets below freezing, it messes it up. It separates, if it's the wax, it separates the wax from the solvent, and then it doesn't go back together, is what these guys said before you sue me, Silka. Come on, there you go. See, now I'm starting to get frustrated. Always happens. Get up at 4:30 in the morning and you still can't leave by 9. Sometimes you quit fighting against and realize it's more like a law of nature. Okay, I'm leaving. Bye. You know at this house.
I love you.
Love you. One of the joys you realize later in life, well, it's the removal of things, as we talked about, is needing to pee while you're driving somewhere, or while you're out about shopping or something like where there's just not a bathroom's not convenient, is one of the most annoying things. Like, it makes your whatever you're doing go from no big deal, even pleasant, to unpleasant because you need to pee. And so this habit I've picked up is a few years ago is if I turn off the rear ball, house pee, and then whatever you're doing, just your commute into work. You know, when you get there and you can't find a parking spot, you know, you're not needing to pee at the same time. So remember to be careful because the parking sensors. I load up on my surround camera so I can not hit the mailbox and get as close to it. I might charge my recorder off of my bike headlight. Let's see if that works. And we're going to get off the mic and charge things. And I'm also going to see if it recorded some of the stuff. There was a section I was worried it might not have recorded. And we'll be back. All right, we are on our way to ride the Lit Whizzy course. I've got the powerful Kai Blankner sitting next to me. It's going to be the first time riding a real gravel race course. I think it's like 60 to 70% gravel or something like that. It's got some good hills in it. We're out in the middle of nowhere, Texas. Harwood, Texas, if you want to find it on Google Maps. It's a 2-hour drive. So this morning, I actually recorded me getting all my stuff together, and then the recording didn't record. So there's that. And let's go over what we got. So I made water, a Camelback with 2 liters, and then 2 more water bottles, and then 2 bottles of fuel. And I put a caffeine thing in it and split it between my 2 fuel bottles, so it'll be like a slow drip of caffeine over the period of the ride. I've got gummy worms just in case. Kai asked me to check to see if there was a gas station along the way, so in case we need to stop and get anything. Gotta slow down here for a railroad track. We're 34 miles north of Gonzales currently. And yeah, so I made my fuel and found all the warm clothes and stuff. And then the funny thing was, I don't remember who gave it to me, if it was Kai and Kylie. They gave me an IKEA shopping bag, one of these monster bags, and I just threw everything into that and then dragged it out to the car. And I feel like I've got everything, and I'm riding today easy, and Kai because I need to do a long run tomorrow, like a really long run, so I'm riding easy. And Kai's got intervals mixed in. But we both have the GPS course, so we should be fine. And a lot of times I'll catch up with Kai after he's done a hard interval and he's like riding slower to recover. Sometimes I'll catch him doing that. And plus I got aero bars, so I can ride more efficiently. And Kai does no aero bars because he's in bike combat up front for racing. He likes doing that. And he's on the state all-road version 2, or whatever it's called, the Pro Edition. And this will be really cool. We'll do a little bit of a review of how this thing handled. He's ridden it plenty already, but on a real course. And you pre-ride a course so that you know what it's like on race day. And yeah, we're getting close. Oh, we stopped at Waeldeer, which is a Texas burger joint, because we're getting a late start on purpose because it's so cold in the morning. We're in no rush to get here. And the first 7 miles is going to be with the wind, so that'll warm us up for 15, 20 minutes, yeah. And then before it gets cold, turning into the wind. And I spent most of this morning just trying to find my stuff and then smashing ice that is frozen in the bottom of the freezer. That was making the drawers difficult to open. But anyway, Kai's taking a nap. He's resting for his incredible ride we're about to do. On the drive there, we're just kind of doing nothing. This is some comedy stuff. But on the note of nothing, this talk I was listening to was so good because we went back to the basics and started off by talking about how even though Buddha was enlightened, he was found often meditating. So the question is why is he meditating if he's already enlightened? Don't you meditate to get enlightened? So why are you still doing it? And the truth is that the meditating itself is what he figured out is the enlightenment. But meditating isn't what people think it is. It's doing nothing and learning to not react to things and pause before you think. So you do it in practice, right? So you always practice it and you do it for 20 and 30 minutes, and then when you're done, you realize the world's no different than when you started. So actually, that whole time, you didn't need to do anything to make things any better or stop them from being worse. Nothing really changed. So the more you practice it, you realize leaving things alone is actually a very advanced and hard to do thing, because humans are always wanting to do, and they're thinking and overthinking. And I think we've got a police officer up ahead here. And it even goes as deep as not doing versus doing nothing. And there's a difference. Trying not to do something, you're still trying, right? So somebody will say, I want to get enlightened. And you're wanting, right? And the whole point of enlightenment is to stop wanting things to be different than the way they are. I'm not enlightened. I want it to be different. I want to get enlightened. And so you become enlightened when you quit wanting to be, amongst other things, enlightened. So trying not to do is actively working against reality. Let me turn on my computer or my map here. See how close we are. Still got a little bit. And not doing is kind of the opposite. So a good analogy is with a river or a stream. Trying to get the river to stop is holding up a wall, right? The wall's already holding itself up. So you're like pushing a wall trying to keep it in place, but what's the point? So trying to stop a stream is you're pushing against a stream, you're building a dam, trying to keep it all in place, versus stepping aside and letting the stream go, or the river, and not interfering with it, and then you can go about and do your own thing, right? So it's active versus passive, and the teachings are about that you're actually already fine the way you are, and over when you're a baby and as you grow older, you keep getting more and more crap piled on top of you, thinking you need to, society and your own competitiveness and whatever wants you to be more and get more, have more stuff, or outcompete other person for this job, all this stuff. And that is the cause of misery, because you're wanting and you have likes and dislikes. And what if you realize that everything's actually fine, like I said at the end of the state of meditation. We just went through Delhi, Texas, like New Delhi. What if you realized everything was fine and you didn't need to do anything? And then you'd actually be in this state of happiness, because everything works out anyway. And this kind of comes about because Zen is the product of Buddhism going through China, and it met up with Taoism, and then it moved on. That's where it became Zen, and then moved on to Japan. It really became Zen, and it was Chan in China. So Taoism is all about things are counterintuitive, and the world has flow to it. So like with surfing, you realize you use the rip current to pull you out. Instead of fighting to paddle out, you just hop on the rip current. Rip current pulls you out. Rip current dissipates when it gets past the breakers, when the water gets deep enough, and that's where the surf, you paddle sideways a little bit, now you're in the surf, and then you surf in, and then you turn around and ride the rip current out. So instead of fighting the water, you can, if you pay attention, you can learn the flow of things. And this is going on everywhere. It's going on at your work. It's going on when you're at your home life. It's going on with how you walk your dog. It goes on with like everything. There's a flow, a natural state of flow of everything. A lot of it's counterintuitive. And the big thing that's counterintuitive is instead of adding, instead of trying to do more, happiness is actually buried under things when you remove and you actually try to do less. Quit trying to be so extra and get down to yourself and your core, and then you can find what's really down there, and that's where true happiness is, when you make things more simple. There's a goats off to the right. Oh, there's an emu. Instead of building a dam to try to get the water to stay where you want it to be, learn to live with the water moving by, and more relaxed. So it's more about, like, in training, it can be kind of like following the process. And instead of trying so hard in training and trying to make yourself better, just follow the training steps. And then you gradually become better anyway through what you're doing. Right, Kai?
100%.
Yeah, Kai just woke up. So look for that when you're doing things. Are you trying to not do things, or are you just not doing? That's very different, one from the other. We're getting close, Kai.
13 minutes. 13 minutes. Harwood Community Center.
All right. Okay, so when we get there, we're gonna find a parking spot. Gonna change clothes, load up. Do you have enough food and water to make the whole trip, or you want to stop at that gas station?
I don't have enough water.
Okay. So we will stop at the gas station.
Yeah, I just need to refill my bottle and have more drink mix to put in bottles.
Okay.
I want to know if I have enough to make the...
Oh, you're kind of testing out how much it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to try and race with only the bottles, 2 water bottles and 1 drink mix, and just have other carbs, like gels and stuff, to make it. I don't know though. It's probably going to take like 3 hours to do the race.
Yeah, you'll easily go half an hour to 45 minutes faster than what you do today, especially riding in a group. So, oh look, that gravel road looked nice. I just saw one. All right, I think we'll need to get gas on the way back, but I think getting there will be fun. So get off the mic here and start thinking about everything we need to do. It's hard to think and talk at the same time. So check y'all later. Out. All right, we're micing up, and hopefully I won't have to touch anything. I do need to pee. We're going to ride the Lit Whizzy course. I need to find my power meter, tighten up my shoes, and I think we got this. Kai's been doing laps on his bike, waiting on me. There we go. I got power. I got heart rate. I guess this is it. Front tire feels too soft, which I think is just about right. And we're off into the unknown. We're crossing over the railroad tracks, which actually was a problem last time we did this race. Going straight. I'm having trouble seeing my bike computer a little bit with the, there you go. We're starting off into the wind. I got a baklava over my face right now, so I sound a little muffled. But man, I'm glad we're starting off into the wind. So we got 60 something miles. Your radar's on solid. There you go. We try to run our radars on, or blinky lights on blinky. It saves a ton of battery rather than solid. And right now, to keep things chill, I'm listening to easy music. We're about to go under I-10. So Harwood, the hometown of this thing, which I like, unless they tow my car, is it's basically on I-10 between Houston and I guess Austin or San Antonio. So I'm wearing nitrile, like shop gloves, the black gloves, or blue, or whatever color they come in, to try to block the wind a little bit. Because my last ride in wind conditions like this, it was cold. My hands got cold. All right, first gravel. That's very slidey. Ah, look at that. I've already messed up my map somehow. This stuff is tough with gloves on. So first little kicker hill. 7 minutes in. This is 90-degree turn gravel road country right now. Because we're going through farmland, they like to do that. Oh, remember, Kai, I'm going to stop and pee somewhere. Not up here, though. It's too windy. So I'm running... Golly, it is cold. I don't really know how cold it is, except for my exposed nose. Wow. I am running 23 PSI in the front. Feels a little sloppy, which is unusual. Oh, but also I've been riding the trainer. And when you first get on a bike, after riding the trainer a lot, it doesn't feel right. Your steering feels off. It might be what it is. Car up! Boy, he's kicking up dust. It's a dually. Duly noted. Oh, he's giving us some space. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Time to start fueling early on. I have the Casio MRW dive bezel watch with the Pepsi bezel, where it's blue and red.
It's red minutes 1 through 20. So I just took a sip of fuel, so I'm going to set it. It rotates bi-directional, friction, bezel. For me personally, it's a little bit too small to want to wear on my wrist. I might wear it running the Rocky Raccoon Ultra for fueling, because it is super lightweight. It's all resin plastic, so it's 35 grams. Big old bull and some cows. So we're riding a really narrow, wonderful though, gravel, almost champagne gravel. I will rate these on a scale of 1 to 10. At smoothness, 10 being the roughest. It's like a 3. And spots, like lanes of it, you could ride a road bike. So last year we did the ride and we went the other direction, and there's railroad crossings just south of town, like 100 feet or so. That's Kai coming up behind me. A few hundred feet, and it blocked people from finishing on time. So I do like it to run in opposite. So if there is a train, they can delay the start just a little bit. And then we don't have the train issue right at the finish line again. We'll be coming from the other direction where there isn't any railroad tracks. It parked itself on the tracks. It's cold enough where I'm doing something that I never do, which is, or rarely do. Which is wear leggings. They're super, super thin. That's all I need, usually 90% of the time. Getting off the trainer and back onto, especially gravel, I've had the nerve yet. We're moving at a high rate of speed. Off of gravel on the pavement. What distance? 4.5 miles. And back on the gravel again. To get in the aero bars. But with the tailwind, I don't need them. Anyway. These are those moments when you're like, oh, this ride's going to be easy. Because we have a 50 mile an hour tailwind. Luckily, the course is kind of a square. So when we do get the headwind, it's only going to be for at most a quarter of it. I think it's something. Yeah. It fills that gap. Anything that fills gaps is aero. I think this bike oversteers compared to what I'm used to. And so I have to remember to not turn quite as steeply. Here's a big old bull. What's up, bro? Towing a trailer or something. I guess maybe when we get to the top of that hill up there, in those trees, I'll pee. If there's trees and it's a hilltop, it's hard to tell from here. And my bike computer's doing the thing where the numbers, it's a setting. The numbers are the numbers, and when there's a turn approaching, it switches over to the map. And because a map burns through battery and beeps. No beep, no map. That means keep going straight. Yeah, I think right here. Okay, y'all pardon me while I pardon myself. We'll edit this out in post, hopefully. There's a collapsed barn over there. Man, this is rough country out here. It is desolate. It's really pretty, but still desolate. Cactus mixed in with mesquite trees. I was telling a coworker we were thinking about moving to Austin like 15 something years ago, maybe 20 years ago. And we were driving there on the weekends, and then we just decided, because Austin has so much more to do in College Station, outdoorsy wise. And then I said, now, well, eventually we just decided, why don't we just drive there on weekends? And live where we currently are and not switch jobs, because we had good jobs already. Because the traffic in Austin's so bad. I'm wearing grocery sacks over my 2 layers of socks. The nitrile gloves over my hands. Baklava thin, but 2 layers of beanie hats. 1 thin and 1 normal arm warmer. A base layer that's real thin. 2 cycling jerseys and a cycling vest. A wind blocking cycling vest. Man, this is real gravel riding. Wow. So I rode this a year ago. Less than a year ago. Yeah, I remember this turn now. That's a driveway. Turn too early. See, these are the things. Why you pre-ride. That is not the turn. But somebody's going to take it. And it's a drop-off. Hey, guys. Yellow and a black lab. All right, now we're crosswind. We're headed east. It's going to be this for a quarter of the ride. Fast drop. Gravel's still a 3 on the left and a 4 on the right, maybe a 5. Kai's enjoying the wider tires so he doesn't have to pick a line so badly. Whoa! It'll be interesting to see if this goes by faster or slower than my normal gravel ride. I bet it'll feel about the same. Yeah? Are your hands cold? Aren't your hands cold? You want some gloves? Okay. So when you're doing something new, it goes by faster. I'm talking to myself. But it is more gravel percentage-wise than our regular route. That makes it slower. All right, first time in aero bars. Kai's a faster climber than me, so we're going into the wind, so I'll tuck behind him. Drinking fuel on my watch timer, the Casio, 20 minutes. Got a big row of brush on our right side blocking the wind. That's nice. Yeah, so what happens is sometimes you'll be in the middle of climbing a hill, or you took too much fuel, not enough water, and you won't want to stay on the same interval. You want to slide it back a few minutes. And that's where being able to adjust it on the fly is nice. A little bit of drifting right there. High speed into a soft turn. So a little bit of a coaching tip. People turn into a headwind. They tend, yeah. There's a toilet in the middle of a meadow on top of a hill. You think anybody poops on that? I bet they do.
I'm going to in the race, so I have to go poop.
So people turn into the wind. And then they go too hard. You know, because they're fighting the wind. And the wind slows you down so much, you feel like you should be going faster. It's an optical illusion, perception illusion. So the thing to remember is try to pedal the exact same effort as if you're riding a normal wind, not a headwind. And you'll actually end up putting out more power naturally anyway. And a little bit more power is okay. But a lot more power wears you out prematurely. I'm running a redshift suspension stem. And it's nice. You want little things you barely notice, and then a whole lot of them. And then they add up, but you don't really notice. Like my elbow pads are OTTO, and they're extra thick. They're 1.6 centimeters thick of like neoprene plush. And that's more suspension right there. Noticing a lot of these long barns, like Viking longhouses, but barns. I think they're chicken coop barns. They tend to do them real long. We've seen a bunch of them, so we must be in chicken raising country. Okay. Why don't you flip it on its head and be a real man? Your 4x12 minutes over this 3 hours? 4 hours? Flip it. 4x12 minutes, easy. The rest of the 4 hours. Here's some cows. This is one of the 2 races I did last year, single speed. Dude, that bull right there looks stoic. Looks like the one on Wall Street. So the nitrile gloves are working. The fact that they're a size too small has them pulling on the end of my fingers a little bit. Or I think mostly my index finger more than anything. And that's a little annoying. What I wanted to do was wear them on the outside of my gloves as wind blockers. What's wrong?
I'm taking this off.
Kai's shedding a layer. I'm going to keep rolling easy. Oh, I want to do something. It's top secret. I can't tell you what it is, or else I'll get in trouble. Someday I'll tell y'all. Nothing cheating. At least I don't think it is. So this is a mix of woods and open prairie, but it's oak, and there's no leaves on the trees. So, we got a stampede on our left. The cows are coming. Okay, we're about to get on the highway for a couple minutes. Oh, no shoulder. Not a big highway, though. There's like a shoulder about a foot wide. There we go. Tailwind. And so Kai's going to be doing 12-minute intervals, hard. And I'm going to ride even, since I have to run tomorrow. And typically, when somebody does intervals, they go so slow after the interval's done because they're recovering. You have a small chance of catching them. Maybe. So we'll see. It'll be interesting, won't it? Left turn. Clear back. Starting to settle into the bike now. Getting a little more used to the handling. It was a little squirrely at first there. Yeah, I smell chicken ranch. Chicken feedlots or whatever they're called. They smell terrible. Kind of like, but no, I don't know if it's quite as bad as a paper mill. I don't know if the paper mills still smell bad. I haven't smelled one in a while. Into the wind. Is this the beginning of your interval?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. Good to see it. He took the lead on downhill into the wind. Very, very slight downhill, like 1% grade. And I have the advantage in that being heavier with aero bars. So him taking the lead means that he's putting out way more power into this real strong wind. Going over the railroad tracks. The fact we're going into the wind directly, I can tuck in behind him and stick with him for some of his interval. It's actually pretty easy back here. I'm sure it sucks up there. So Kai's on the white state with the green fork. It's glossy. Oh, hey, little doggies. Oh, he's going. Got something in my nose. So he has a bigger chainring than I do. So a higher top speed, and now he got tailwind. He's starting to lose me. Off of Amazon, we got him a custom. Well, it's not custom, but instead of a 42, here comes some little doggies. Cute dog. We got him 44 instead of a 42. And that's the biggest the bike would handle at the time on our old bikes. Current bike will handle a double chainring, which will be massive gearing potential. But anyway, we also got one that was solid for aero. And it's some cheap Chinese thing. But it was on Amazon and not Alibaba. And had good reviews. So I figured it was worth the risk. And it doesn't have any technically moving parts, you know. And he's not doing track cycling. We put out 2,000 watts, 3,000 watts from a standstill. So it's like it'll probably be all right. And it has been. It's been fine. So I buy cycling shoes that are a little bit too big. And that allows me two things. In the winter, I can wear an extra pair of socks. And it doesn't bother me too bad. I got room. Because you don't want your feet to be packed in tight. Because then you don't get blood flow. And there's no room for the air to insulate you. And then in the summer, I wear thin socks. And now there's all this room for air to circulate through there with every pedal stroke as your foot moves around in the shoe. Car up. Nice wave. Everybody in Texas waves at each other. Even if you're like, what the hell are those weirdos doing? You still wave? Why not? Since we're not in Ironman and in like touring gravel long distance stuff, you're typically not needing to be locked into your pedals for maximum combat. So loose shoes, you know, like half a size to even a size a little bit too big because your feet swell. Not a bad thing. Okay, we're gonna have a tailwind. This will be nice. He's a little bit over halfway done with his interval. Still easily in sight. I think he's 150 yards ahead of me. No big deal. The first interval, you shouldn't judge too much. That's what people are able to do on the third and the fourth and the fifth. This part of the course is way flatter than I remember, but I was on a single speed. I mean, now I'm on it, and I'm like, oh yeah. And I think this part I was heading into a headwind, maybe. It's hard to tell, hard to remember. I think now that Kai's got bigger tires and he could keep up better, he's going to run out of gearing with the top guys. Because like right here, if this is all the gearing you got, this is where guys that know they have bigger gearing are going to try to drop you. Very interesting. What's interesting about gravel biking, because it's still new, is there's lots of variability still in what people are riding. So, because the terrain is so varied, people are riding very different setups and all have their weaknesses and strengths. So if you play up your strengths, like higher gearing on a big, fast downhill with tailwind. Oh, there's a dog in the road. I did the little swerve trick, went at him. It is so cool having a little compass on the handlebars. I can tell, I can just check, see if I'm crazy or not, you know? And if you do a live compass on your bike computer, it eats up battery, and this doesn't. I think he's done, because now he's riding upright. Yep. And I'm at 20 minutes since my last fueling, so let's take a little bit. Last one was a little strong, so I'll do a little bit less on that one. A cool trick I learned from eons of road riding is if you can't feel the wind sitting up, which means you have a nice strong tailwind, sit way up and enjoy it. Because you're going to turn around and go into it pretty soon at some point. And you're going to be so crunched over that it's going to feel really nice. It's going to feel way better if you sat upright more when you could. A little bit of pavement here, and then we're going to get back onto some gravel. When Kai and I did our backpacking trip, we did like almost 200 miles over 2 days. He said he was on his old bike with a 42 in the rear. He said he noticed that he couldn't take the same lines that I could take. And my bike with the 50s was kind of new to me. It's the first time we'd really ridden a long time together. Just got a rock in my glasses. Hit me in the... Could have taken out my eye. I never even saw it. How was that interval?
Good.
I'm Kai's stealth coach. He doesn't want me to coach him. Because we know each other too well. So I just ask questions. And give occasional advice. You're about to? When?
15 seconds.
Okay. Well, they're all going to be in a row like this? Up front?
5 minutes apart.
And then the second half of the ride, not any?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got you. So there's your workout if you want to try it. Go on a long ride. 45 minutes in. Start doing 12-minute intervals with 5 minutes recovery in between. And the intervals were not that hard. They seemed to me to be like right at threshold. Definitely not any harder than that. We got chickens in the road up ahead. No. Vultures. Okay, this is my first time riding aero position on gravel that's loose downhill. Hey, quick into a left-hand turn. It's real drifty. Ooh, an off camber as you come out of it. Interesting. All right, this is gonna suck. We're going into the north wind. You can see really far. I see the ridge line, maybe like Bastrop, off to the east. Those might be pine trees, the lost pines at Bastrop. Even though we're going uphill and like maybe 9 miles an hour, I'm getting into the aero position. There's real strong headwind here. I've tested all this over all the years. You are faster. Because 9 miles an hour plus a 15 mile an hour headwind, that's 24 mile an hour headwind. So even though you're only going 9 and you're going uphill, yeah, learn how to put out power in the aero position. A lot of people don't know how to do that, which means spending lots of time in the aero position. There was a time at my peak Ironman racing, for years actually, my power in the aero position was higher than sitting up. I could sustain higher watts. But people think that's not possible. But it's just, what do you spend more time training in? So like I could sustain 230 watts in the aero position for 4.5, 5 hours. And that's like probably like 300 watts if you were sitting upright. Okay, I'm gonna recover on this downhill. Also give me and Kai some space so we don't crash into each other. Feel the wind. We're going so fast and the wind's so clear. I can feel it cutting through 3 layers of clothes. I just went by Kai doing the where you're resting your head on your hand in the elbow pose, like the triathletes do for the camera in the aero position. Kai, look at that house. Oh, that's so cool. Big ranch house. It's got a second story over the garage. It's all made out of stone. That is cool. I bet these people have goats.
Eating everything but
Yeah. Dude. That ground is stripped bare. Oh, sheep. Similar. Oh, there's some, well. Oh, they're headbutting. Kai, look. There's 2 sheep playing around, headbutting each other. Oh, this is going to be rough. Major headwind ahead. Corvette. Man, what road is this? Where are these things coming from? Okay, we just got off that thing. Now we're on busted up chip seal. It's nice. Car back. Still back there. Okay, time for some fuel before we hit the gravel. Using the Casio watch on the 60-minute mark. So after eating a hamburger for an early lunch, right now my body seems happy fueling every 20 minutes. On top of that grease and meat and some french fries. It's a lot of calories, so it's just sitting in there. What we'll do on race day is stop at Whataburger and probably get breakfast tacos on the way. Got a long uphill. Get into a headwind, so I'm going to tuck in behind Kai. So I'm riding Hunt CGRs, gravel race, carbon gravel race. Really nice wheels. And I got them bladed spokes, by the way. I got them for free. Because the guy that had them before, I think thought the rear drive cog, I'm going to let Kai escape. I'm working too hard. Oh, that was the end of his interval anyway. So Kai and I repaired it, which cost maybe less than $100. How was that one? Kai's in the zone. He's recovering from his zone. And then Kai's on Cantu wheels. Cantu. And I won those a long time ago at a gravel race. Had a raffle at the end of the race. And I won carbon wheels from them. However, I wanted them built. So I had them built up for racing. And way ahead of their time. Really wide, deep-ish for the time. I think bladed spokes. And carbon does not fatigue if you treat them good. So he's been enjoying it. I think he's tired of them. When stuff gets old, you start to think it's holding you back. But it's a good brand. There's nothing special about them, but carbon wheels have advanced so much. Emily's texting us. Right-hand turn. They've advanced so much, there's not, as long as you get decent wheels, there's not much difference. If you know what you're doing. Of course, there's definitely differences. Unclipping so I can drift. There we go. Now Kai's intervals are catching up with him. He's now behind me. Slow children. Man, why would you embarrass your children like that? It's so rude. Okay, I'm officially out of water on my aero, my BTA bottle that we do for triathlon stuff. Y'all know what that is. Moving to the Camelback. And what'll happen is when we stop at the gas station, I'll move the bottle that's down by under my frame, down by the bottom bracket, the one that's slung underneath. I'll move that up here. I've noticed I've started saying the zen of it all. I record a lot that never makes it to the air. I'm just talking to myself, which is actually good for you. When you have to put your thoughts into words, it's like 50% you sound how ridiculous. You hear how ridiculous you sound. And also finding a way to put things into words makes you think about it more. But yeah, the doing nothing to do, nothing to be done. There's a million things and none to do. The man who wanders the world speaking of likes and dislikes, is guaranteed, oh yeah, to wander the world offending everyone. Got a sharp turn here. A little drifty. There is definitely going to be people going into the freaking bushes. It is barbed wire. Wow. So, over time, you begin to find out what you like and what you dislike. And you narrow in on that. And learn to do more of that. Oh, Kai's caused another stampede up ahead. Oh, there's a baby cow, too. A little bit of it is they think you're going to feed them, so they're running over to where they get fed. In fact, that may be most of it. And you don't know, in the future what you're going to like and what you're going to dislike. And the person I was talking to just yesterday, I was telling them we wanted to move to Austin, and then knowing what I know now and the stuff I prefer to do is actually out in the countryside. And so I would have been stuck in traffic, even longer commutes, even worse. Ooh, Kai is moving. He's gone now. And I found I love this being out in the countryside, which is way more accessible. We live smack dab in the middle of it almost. Right here, or in our town. So I would have been leaving Austin to go do this stuff anyway. The stuff I really like. The only change that would be awesome is if we could work from home, so then there's like no commute. But I honestly think that's still coming. It's not worth the fight and get your boss mad at you when they do. You get them mad and then they fire you, and then they change the policy a month later anyway. I've seen that happen with lots of stuff. I remember growing up and so frustrated in the Houston school district system. Can't wear shorts to school, even though it's so hot. And then our parking lot, you couldn't wear earrings for guys. And then our parking lot was this real crappy pea gravel over asphalt. It's terrible. And every once in a while you're running into like track or something, you fall down and skin yourself up pretty bad. End up with gravel embedded in your leg, in your kneecaps. The year after I graduated, I went back and visited a friend at high school. He was a senior now, and I was a freshman at A&M. And he was a senior in high school. And I walked onto campus with him, had lunch. There's people walking around in shorts, guys with earrings, and the parking lot was paved and smooth. And I was like, what? A year after I leave? All this changed? My friend was like, yeah, it's pretty great. Ooh, front wheel slipped out a little bit there. Okay, this gravel is a 6 or 7. 6. This is where the lower tire pressure, can't really tell, but you just know, if you know science. It's actually helping you go faster. Something about bike frames I want to talk about. I saw an interview with Hans Schneider, who's our really old guy that builds custom frames in Huntsville, Texas. So he's like 45 minutes to an hour away from where I live. I've never met him, but I know of. Whoa, Kai is gone. Oh, he must be feeling it, dude. He is booking He builds frames only out of steel. And so he was comparing the steel to titanium. He weighed them and showed it, only a few grams. 2 wedding rings difference. Steel is so good now. But there's something else. When I moved back to Texas from California, I was surfing, and I had a 10-foot longboard that was a nice board. It was good quality, but it's big and heavy. It was thick. And surfing in Galveston is usually choppy. And I was surfing a lot, so I got a custom board made that was a 9.5 foot and made out of better, lighter materials. My bike just ate a small stick like it was nothing. And I thought this board was going to be like a major improvement, because it turns faster, lighter. Turns out it wasn't. That actually, the ride quality, because it was typically kind of light chop surf, the heavier board rode smoother and more stable, which allowed it to, once it got up to speed, to stay at speed way better. And I always think about that with riding gravel, is people get obsessed with because they're coming from a roadie background when they're riding super light, But this road has chop, right? The gravel. And a little bit of weight, just like wider tires, softer tires, are more supple over this stuff. A little bit heavier frame that's all holding the whole thing together doesn't bounce and vibrate all over the place in the chop. So at speed, it's actually a little bit faster, and you have a little bit better control with a slightly heavier bike than a lighter bike. And I can tell because I've ridden all kinds of bikes on this stuff. Especially because these bikes really don't have much suspension. Left turn onto a highway. This is one where they're going to want... I can see Kai ahead now. He's about 300-400 yards ahead. But into a headwind. Imagine just driving down a road in a freaking gravel race. Comes flying around the turn. Cool trick that a lot of people don't know unless they do less triathlon. You keep your head down and in line with your body and look forward with your eyes. That way your whole upper body's like a torpedo in the wind. And then you don't need anywhere near as much of an aero helmet. And use your eyes to look forward. Kind of like you're looking over the tops of your sunglasses and below the lip of your helmet. Let your upper chest and neck hang between your shoulders, and your shoulder blades rise up. They call it turtling. Off the highway and onto some gravel. And it gets you pinch your shoulder blades up and behind your neck. Like a little triangle, like a little pyramid. And your chest below. It's super aero. And once you learn how to do it, it's actually really comfortable. It's like no work. And it's very similar to when you swim. If you want to look forward, but also keep your body in a line. At the very top of my head, poking up a little bit, but then I have a camelback in line behind it. I think Kai's going to start his final interval without me being nearby before I catch him. We got 10 miles to the gas station. Maybe 11. All headwind. I feel. My toes are getting cold because this headwind. Even though I'm wearing grocery bags over my double pair of socks. But not bad. They feel very cool, almost cold. Starting to get cold. Pretty nice. I think the gas station stop will align nicely with needing to go to the bathroom. Seen some broken trees, maybe from the ice storm that we just had. Maybe not. I'm listening to chill hop, down tempo, lo-fi, just cruising along. Heart rate's 121, doing 39 watts. I think I'm trying a little bit too hard on the watts. Trying to keep up with Kai. It's a rabbit, you know, unconsciously trying to chase. So I'm going to back off a little bit more on purpose. Trying to keep up with him and going into a headwind. I think that's the problem. Even though it is super windy and that kind of sucks and cold, it is blue sky and dry. Here comes a car. Moving over to the other side of the road. Toyota Tacoma converted into some kind of flatbed. That's interesting. You don't see that often. Especially a new one. So when I finish the last hour of this ride, really need to pack down the sugar. And also when I finish, a milkshake. That'd be nice. That'd be a good recovery. Gummy worms, milkshake. Pack the legs full of glycogen for tomorrow's run. As I get close to the gas station, slow down the effort a little bit. And hopefully let some of the sweat blow and dry off. Because when we stop, gonna get cold, especially get back on the bike again. The clothes are gonna be sweated in. Just took a rock to the glasses. Whenever Kai doesn't wear glasses, I get on him about it. I'm like, you don't know when you're gonna get that rock. One time he tried to be cool because somebody like Lachlan Morton or somebody was riding without a helmet on video. One of their escapades, and I was like, no, no, we're not doing that. That's when he was still a teenager. I was like, no. So I stopped on my bike, and I'm like, I'm not riding with you until you put your helmet back on, because he had it with him. It was hot, and he was just trying to be cool. Ooh, I get to practice standing and climbing over the top. Finally. Nice. There we go. That was a good one for it. Had a sharp little up and over. Oh, he's pulled over. I wonder what's up. So I made a little video of his bike a while back, posted on Instagram, Zen Triathlon on Instagram, where his frame has storage. It's got such room in it. It's amazing. It's got oversized. Nowadays we do oversized down tubes because you're going to put a water bottle on it anyway. Or two. So the bottle cage is mounted to the lid. But it's really good, secure lock. So you take off the water bottle, mount the bottle. It's all storage in there, and easily fit in a paint stick and a mini pump with room for lots more stuff. Okay, another 20 minutes, time for some fuel. I'm now ahead of Kai and he's catching up. That's what the beeps are about.
What's up?
How's it going?
Hands got cold.
Oh, that wasn't a bathroom break?
It was a bathroom.
Is that? What was that?
Into my rest.
So you can do another interval?
No, it's back to endurance.
Oh, okay. That Tacoma was really weird with the flatbed on it.
Yeah.
I wonder if he was what he's using it for.
Farm truck.
That's true. That's a farm truck. I guess the nitrile gloves are working because I'm forgetting that I'm wearing them, and that's how you know something's good. That was surprise chunky sharp gravel we just rode through. A very short section of it. But that's why 50 millimeter tires are great. He was in front of me and I couldn't see it.
How long until we get to the gas station?
It's at mile 35. So like 7 miles, 6 miles. That gravel's a 7. We're getting out of this open prairie and down into looks like a creek bottom, which will be nice. Get out of the wind a little bit because of all these trees. I like the low area. I think we're getting down into more like water oak and live oak. Live oak, they call it that because it's actually an oak tree that's green year round. It does not lose its leaves in the winter, from what I remember. Deer? Oh, a whole bunch, look. Did you see that buck giving us a stink eye? Golly, dude, that jump. Oh, he barely cleared that one. I bet his rear hooves tapped the fence there. Yeah, I'm getting close to needing to pee. Hey, wait a second. My bike computer just went weird. Okay, now it's back. Okay. I don't know what that was about. Come on, Garmin. You make enough of these things. You need to have yourself figured out. Some weird bird sounds. Okay, 5.5 more miles. To some shelter for a little bit. On some forum or video I was watching about carbon and metal frames, somebody was asking in the comments, would a carbon bike be better for XYZ? Maybe it was like a gravel bike for mountain biking or something like that. And it's like, the thing to know is carbon is really, really strong when you pull on it. Because it's like rope, right? Rope is really strong when you pull on it. It's really weak every other direction. So when they make a frame, they weave it to be strong in those directions. That makes sense. But they're pretty much handmade in a way, all of them. Because they're not going to waste time making it strong. Anywhere it doesn't need to be. So it's like your carbon frame will be really strong if you use it the way it was intended. But the second you use it in a way that it's not intended, and it gets stress from a wrong direction or too much stress, it'll crack so fast. For steel, for example, as a metal, it's strong in every direction all the time. That's going to take a lot more abuse, accidental side forces, you know. Oh, guy's standing and climbing. Oh, you spun out. Too much power. He's riding all silly. That was a false top. Now we got a little bit of a real kicker coming up. I'm going to save my standing and climbing for this one. I was totally like Pogacar on that last one. I sat. Yeah, that's what I'm like. Just like Pogacar. All day. I need to get my chain checked. I'm starting to get worried about it. I'm going to fuel early and move my clock up on my watch. Which is easy to do, just like that. Little twist. I bet that's town up there, that water tower. I guess I'll see you there. What time are you going to get there so I can tell them to wait at the store to keep it open? What?
Before you.
Kai, do you remember that guy named Jetpack? The guy that I raced at Ironman Wisconsin?
The name, I don't remember.
Tyler something.
I know the name.
So I beat him by 3 minutes. And so on Twitter, for years, my location was 3 minutes ahead of Jetpack. But one of the biggest things I learned from doing that race is don't have a huge internet rivalry over somebody that's about as good as you are over an Ironman. Because we about killed ourselves trying to beat each other. A 5K and then it's over. Even though it was like 80 degrees, I needed emergency blankets when I was done. My God. So I'm trying to make an effort and post more on Twitter. Even though it's definitely taken over by Russian propaganda and Nazis. I got like 5,000 to 10,000 followers on there. I don't remember how many now. Because I lost a bunch because I quit posting on it. It's so annoying. All the false propaganda and stuff. Russian bots. And annoying people believing in them. And and on Blue Sky. I'm ZenEndurance on Blue Sky and Zen Triathlon on Twitter, I think. Isn't it so much nicer just riding through that rough stuff?
Yeah.
And not hoping that you don't get a flat?
Well, honestly, throughout this whole ride, I haven't had it where it's
Oh, no. Yeah, I realized, like, when you're going over stuff like that with the 42 tire, you're like going on faith. Like, God, I hope. It hasn't flatted yet on this, so I hope it doesn't. Where with the 50, you're going on knowledge. That's fine. You're definitely, it would be odd for it to flat out. There's those chicken ranches. Smell terrible. But it's not often. I don't want to dog on the race. It's beautiful out here. And you're in and out of the smell pretty quickly. You think we're going right or left? Feels nice. Got a little twinge in my right knee and have for a while now. I tweaked it a little bit running with the river. Gotta be careful when I do rapid changes. Seems okay, and hopefully it'll repair itself like it usually does. Car back. Got about 2 more miles to go, maybe 3. Now's the time to start backing off, building up too much sweat. And then also, when we get there, go inside, unzip the fronts, let the air out. There's the water tower. I see that. Man, I need to pee too. Got something rattling a little bit. I wonder what that is.
Ooh.
Here come the cows again. Is this stampede number 3? Stampede number 3? Woo! Here they go. There they go. They run like Ripple. Like this, squared. Oh, that one's coming at us. Okay. Oh. Let's see what... Those are all lined up. Let's see if they... Are those cows?
I think so. They're all eating.
I think we got 2 miles to go to the gas station. Car back. Dude, you need to put a chain protector on that arm. You need to put a chain protector on the back from slapping your chainstay. Yeah, definitely. You need one. Yeah. That's going to eat up your frame. That beautiful white frame. That beautiful bean footage. Okay, I'm getting kind of tired riding in the aero position, fighting this cold headwind. It's getting a little old. I guess it kind of depends. Like if you know there's a break coming up, it bothers you. But if you don't know, you just kind of deal with it. That's what we're going to have all day. Because listening to myself, I'm like, quit complaining, dude. It's not like me to complain. I guess also I need to pee. Or normally I'd pull over and pee by now. Okay, we're in some kind of town. There's houses and dogs and chickens. This is good timing because my feet are starting to get numb. But the pavement is faster. old church, look at that. Okay, we got the little tin can looking water tower. It says welcome to Waeldeer. I don't know how to pronounce it. Waelder. Pronounced nitrile. Car back. Probably a little old German town. Probably deer sausage making heaven up here. This is how sausage is made. I guess let's go through town a little bit. Which way were you thinking of going?
Family Dollar down there.
The gas station's that way. Yeah, I need to pee. I'm gonna stop my bike computer. Since we're just putzing around. It might be that red building right there. So that's a train roaring by.
.97 mph average.
It's not very fast. Huh? Okay. They got a bike right there. Can you go with us? Got a table. You all right out here?
Yep.
Okay. It's a little rough out here. How you going?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Maybe I'll get a candy bar. A big building. Not sure why the toilet is moved sideways off of its mount, but okay, we can deal with it. Looking for a little regular old Snickers. I'll do, pig. Go on. Hey, get a candy bar?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm going to get his water when he decides to come in, but I'll go ahead and get this now.
So you guys heading
Back to Harwood.
Harwood?
Yeah.
Okay.
We came from there to here.
Oh, so you're going back.
Yeah, now we're going back. Yeah.
Are you
There's going to be a
living
big
now?
race next weekend that comes through here.
Oh, here?
Yeah. From Harwood through here. Yeah, and then back to Harwood again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, bring y'all some business and stuff, I hope. Be a lot of people.
it's like 5 miles from here?
Yeah, but we went that way a long way, so we're on mile 35 right
5
now.
miles.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Go. Oh, thanks, man. You want to go in and get some anything? It's cold over here.
Okay, we are back. That's just over halfway through the ride. The rest of the ride was really great. Got a little bit more hilly and a little bit less cold, maybe not. Yeah, we got a tailwind for a lot of it on the way back. So that was really nice. Anyway, I'm recording this part tonight, the night before the race. It's a week later. I've been trying to edit this audio over the week, mixing it with other things going on in life. And I cut it short at the gas station. It seemed like a good stopping point. You get the gist of us having fun out there. And the race is tomorrow, so look for audio on that, or maybe video. I'm trying to find the charger for my video camera remote, which I can't seem to find. It's really frustrating. So we'll see if I actually make a video of that. And yeah, it's the night before the race. I took half a day off from work, and first major priority is took a nap, which was really helpful. And then I've been getting my stuff together all afternoon. I've got my fuel made, I've got my water made, and I've got my bike rinsed and the chain waxed with squirt, and going through my tire repair kit, tools, make sure I've got everything. And I think that's about it. We're running to the grocery store and getting gummy worms, sour gummy worms, yeah, and getting food together. Oh, phone call. So the goal is to have the car pretty much packed up tonight, and except for the bikes, so somebody doesn't steal them out of the car, and then head out early in the morning, grab food on the as early as possible in the way so it digests on the way. Race doesn't start till 9, and then Kai's racing pro-ish division. I don't think they have a pro division. It's just all out, and I'm racing from the back and trying to gobble up people Ironman style. I'm time trialing it. I got aero bars. I'm going to time trial it from the back and see how many people I can pass starting from the back, but also being there to support Kai along the way in case he needs me, and then hopefully see him on the podium maybe at the finish line. Or it's really just a training ride for him. It's his first gravel race in a while, and so just see how well he can do and get racing experience back under his belt for a little bit, and really enjoy riding a new bike with 50 millimeter tires. And this will be my first race, I think, on 50 millimeter tires. And yeah, just really, my goal is to really enjoy the day. Kai's goal is like half racing, half enjoy the day. So stay tuned for that. And we'll have more coverage of that race in case you want to do one of these races. They're really inexpensive. It's like 60 to 80 bucks total. And the courses are awesome, and they don't get peanut butter mud on them, even if it rains. And they have them all spring. It's the Capital City Racing gravel races here in Texas. One of them is very famous. About all the pros do it. It's up near Dallas. And I should wrap up. If you have any questions or things you want me to mention on the show, send them my way. I'll answer your questions. If you need coaching, you can tell by listening to this that I have eons of experience of racing all different kinds of things and completing all kinds of different ultra endurance events. And I am here for you as a coach. You can reach out at texafornia@gmail.com. I just picked up a new coaching client, and I'm having the time of my life getting him all set up to race an Ironman in the fall. There is so much knowledge on how to race these things, anything long, that is not out there on how things actually really work and what strategies complement each other, which ones contradict each other, the smartest way to finish based on your fitness and your background and your experience, because I truly have seen it all. And we use Training Peaks, which is the easiest way to coach. And you can see all your data. And I coach in a very transparent way and will explain to you everything. So someday, if you want to coach yourself, view it not as just paying a coach, but you're learning how to coach yourself so you can save a lot of money down the road and learn all the science behind it, because I love talking about this stuff. I'll teach anybody how to coach themselves. That's how I learned. I got coached for a year and then ended up coaching myself and then ended up coaching other people. And you definitely want to get coached and learn all the science about what's happening from somebody that's watching you and will tell you what's happening, but then ask questions and I will tell you everything. And then you can take that and run with it, say like after 9 months to a year, right? And anyway, that's texafornia@gmail.com, and I charge $200 a month to coach. No startup fee, any type of event. Okay, there's my shameless plug. Stay tuned for something from the Lit Whizzy. And then the weekend after the Lit Whizzy, we're doing the Ultra Marathon in Huntsville State Park on Valentine's Day. So look for, either an audio podcast or video on YouTube or I should say, Instagram. I'll always post stuff on Instagram. Okay? Everybody stay safe out there. Work the uphills, cruise the downhills, and keep the rubber side down. Out.